Okay, so you needed half the car's money. You needed full year's insurance and cash. But how much money was that? Do you remember around?
Oh yeah, I just actually found the bill and threw it out. I paid $2,255 for a '57 Chevy.
Oh my goodness! And how much did you pay for the car you have today?
$26,000.
And what kind of car is that?
It was used when I got it. It's a 2010 Ford Escape.
And it's made out of plastic.
What kind of innovations do you have in your new car now that you didn't have in your '57 Chevy?
Oh, I have four-wheel drive, sunroof, heated seats,
GPS.
It's got everything in it you could have. They didn't have any of that back then. You had power steering and power brakes. You were lucky.
They didn't have GPSs in the
No.
cars.
No.
Heated seats.
You had to know where you were going. You had to know where you were going.
Do you have any other innovations? You have laptop, computer. What kind of phone do you have?
I have the iPhone 5, laptop and that. I have a portable one. My laptop and my computers all left me with Sandy. They floated.
Right, they
So
floated
I
away.
lost my whole house with Sandy. All my computers, all my faxes, machines, everything.
How many computers did you have?
I had two.
Yeah, too. One
How
of
many
them was.
fax machines did you
I had
have?
4.
Why?
Because I had them from the business.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
she
I
had.
Did you use them?
No.
Yeah, I did when I had them. No, I used the one all the time.
Yeah, well,
But the others were in the garage.
and the computer you played solitaire on. I remember that.
Yeah, I knew how to send emails, get emails, and play solitaire.
And now, I mean, you had the iPhone 5 before I did. And you had the iPhone 4 before I did, which is pretty funny, actually.
What kind of TVs did you have growing up? Or did you didn't have TV?
We didn't have a
There you go.
TV at first. There was a neighbor on the corner that got the first TV. And every night at 5:30, she let us go in and watch Howdy Doody.
What was Howdy Doody like?
It was Howdy Doody was a kids show, and it had Clarabelle the Clown, and they used to sing a song, it's Howdy Doody time, and we all used to sit there and sing and be happy, and then she made us leave as soon as Howdy Doody was over.
That's...
And then my dad got a TV, and it was...
How old were you when your dad got the TV?
I guess about 12.
Okay.
Was the television high definition?
No, it was black and white.
It was black and
little
white.
tiny screen.
When did you get your first color TV?
Oh God, I don't even remember.
When you were married, or
Oh, I was married. Oh,
you
yeah.
were married for your
I was
first
married
color TV?
For my first color
And
TV.
how
I
many-
was married several years before they came out with color TV.
How many TVs do you have now?
I had 3.
Are they all high definition?
Yes.
Yes. Are they all flat screen?
Yes.
Are they all very large flat screens?
Yes.
So you definitely took advantage of that.
Including
Okay.
3D.
Okay. You do.
Do you wear the glasses?
If I put one on, yes. I have
So
5
you
pairs.
watch 3D movies in your
I have
house.
5 pairs in case I have company and they want to watch it too.
Okay, nice.
Do you ever wear the glasses when you're driving around or anything?
No.
No. Okay. All right. So, what do you think was the #1 biggest change during your lifetime?
The biggest change was getting married and having children and going from making $1,200 a week to my husband making $67.
Yeah.
That was a drastic change.
When you were dancing, you were making...
I worked the Copacabana. I was solo dancer there, and I traveled with Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis. I traveled with Sinatra. I worked with all the major stars.
And you were making $1,200 a week?
Mhm.
That's fantastic.
And that was a lot of money back then.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that included you had to use part of that for transportation
Yeah.
to get to whatever cities and clubs you were working in and that.
But I mean, $67 a week for a Nassau County police officer. Now they're making over $200,000. You know, you paid 20,
$100,000. They're
you
making
paid
a lot. And back then, the
$27,000 for
police
your
went-
car.
The police
now.
went to court on their days off without pay. They had to go to court on their days off. They didn't pay to go to court. And I believe we paid half of our retirement. It was either half of our retirement or half of our medical.
Right. Are you still collecting any money off your husband's pension now that he's
Yes.
passed? Okay.
I am. He was actually going to take full retirement, and for some reason, at the last minute, changed his mind, and unfortunately, but fortunately, he died 4 years later. He got sick and died in 3 months.
Right. Good.
So as you see it currently, what are the biggest problems that face our nation, and how do you think they could be solved?
How do I think they could be solved? By getting rid of our president and everybody connected with him. Is half of the way it could be solved. I think the financial state of our country is in ruins. I think we've given up on space. We're no longer number one in the world.
What do you think about immigrants?
I think they should go through the proper channels. You have people who have applied to come over that are waiting and doing it legitimately, so why should people who came in illegitimately be wiped out without waiting the proper channels?
What do you think about illegal immigrants here that collect things, like health insurance or,
I don't think they should be doing that either. Most of them are not paying even taxes.
Right. Okay.
So do you consider yourself patriotic, and what do you see as the biggest change from when, since you lived through different wars and time, did you see, how are people towards the U.S. compared to now? Like, what's the differences?
Okay, I think the last set of our real heroes was World War II vets. I think the other wars we went into and we didn't finish. We only went so far, and it was like we stopped and we backed off. I believe we've lost a lot of respect to the world with the way things are being handled now.
How is the U.S. looked at by everyone, international people? How is the U.S. looked at?
They not looking at us as number one in everything anymore.
I'm saying, when you were growing up,
When I was growing up, if you were from the United States, everybody looked at you as like you were a special person. And you don't get that respect or that look.
So you feel there was more power and strength in the U.S. when you were younger growing up than there is now?
There was a lot more respect showed for our servicemen. There was respect in the country. It's in our own country, our own people are becoming, I'm not quite sure what they're becoming. But, I mean, they're recruiting people from our own country to help them bomb us. They hate us. They're looking to hit us again, and they probably will.
So what do you think of President Obama and what he has done for this country?
I do not like him at all. I don't think he's done anything for this country. I don't believe a word that comes out of the man's mouth. I think he's a great speaker, and that's all he is. He speaks and makes promises and doesn't back up one thing he says.
What do you think he's done for race relations in the U.S.?
I think they say that they're prejudiced. I believe that there's been a turn that it's the white man that's now person that has more of a prejudice against than the others.
So you feel he's created more of a problem as opposed
I believe he's created more of a problem.
He's maybe defined more the line between black and white.
I have always believed that no matter what color you are, no matter what you are, female or male, if you can do the job and do the same job, you should get the job with equal pay, with equal rank, with whatever you do. I don't believe there should be one set for white, one set for minority when it comes to a job. You should have, however you come out with the scores is how you should be put on a job.
How are minorities treated when you were growing up?
There are a lot of problems, and I mean there were things that they should have been allowed to do, and they weren't, and I never agreed with that. I had black friends. I had gay friends. I treated them all equal.
Did black people when you were growing up have less rights during your teenage years, during high school? Were there a lot of black people that went to your high school? Did they hang out with you in high school?
Yeah, we did have we had quite a few black kids in high school, and yes, we all hung out together. We didn't have any problems.
What do you think about for your parents, them growing up? Much bigger difference, right?
Yes, but my parents grew up, and it's like where I grew up. We were in the country, so
Right.
we really didn't. I don't think I really saw anyone black until I moved to New York, because I
Yeah.
lived in the country.
Sure.
Right.
What news channels do you watch? How do you get information about what's going on?
I watch Channel 5 a lot because they're conservative and
Right.
they're not liberal.
What channels would you say you think are more liberal?
Oh, I think 2 and 4 are definitely.
What do you think about News Channel 12?
I don't actually watch that much.
It's more local news.
It's
Yeah.
more local.
It's as local as local news
Yeah.
gets. So.
Yeah.
But I'll
That's
tell
right.
you what, I
From
put
the
Channel
North Shore to
12
the
on the
South
other
Shore, and
day.
somewhere in the middle,
I
you
put
get all the.
Channel 12 on the other day to see if Mangano won, and it took me 3 hours before Channel 12 told me that Mangano had won. It was New Jersey. It was all over the place, but our own
That's so
county
funny.
here.
That's funny.
So do you feel you're an informed voter during presidential elections?
Yeah, during presidential elections, I read a lot. And I also talk to Tommy, my oldest son, is up on everything. He can give you who, when, where, how, dates.
Right. Do you watch the debates and things
I
like
usually
that?
will watch the debates, yes. Obama, I can't even watch on television. He comes on, I change the channel.
That's how
If
much
he's
you
on the next
dislike him.
channel, I change that again. I refuse to absolutely watch him or his wife, who seems to think she's a modern day actress and star.
Is it disappointing for you to see the impact of what is currently going on and what he's currently doing in the office on our generation?
Yes, I believe that I believe it's going to have a big impact on my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren.
Are you nervous for our future?
Yes, I really am.
Social Security,
Social Security,
pensions,
pensions,
tenure for
people
teachers.
My husband worked 3 jobs so that we could afford to live. We never asked for anything for anybody. We didn't expect it. And I find that now they expect it to be given to them. And there are jobs out there. If I had to scrub toilets to support my family, I would. But everybody seems to think that it's beneath them to take certain jobs. You take whatever job you can get so you can put food on the table and do things.
Right.
A lot of times nowadays, there's over 50 million people on food stamps. There's,
Compensation for the more children you have, the more money you get
Oh,
from
exactly.
the government.
so there's no really reason for the people to go out and accept the job.
No, because if you have 6 children and 6 different fathers, you still get for each child. I honestly believe if they passed a law, you have 2 children, after that they take them, that you would see it stop. But why work when you can just
Have
collect
kids and take the money.
and
Right.
take the money, get food stamps, get whatever you want?
Would you work before ever taking a handout from the government?
Yes, and I always have. I'm
If you made less
74 and I'm
money,
still
if
working.
you made less money, would you take the government? Would you not take the government handout?
No, I wouldn't. I'd rather work.
So now we're gonna move on to kind of just talk about like the test of time, like over your life. Like, what is your quality of life currently?
It's good.
How healthy are you? Your situation in your beautiful new home. Financially, are you okay? Are you doing everything you want to do and not having issues?
Okay, my health, I look at it, I'm happy to be alive. I had a broken neck and a bleeding brain from a car accident.
This is over the past 3 years, right? 2 years?
Yep. 5 months after that, I had a triple bypass. 5 months after that, I lost my house in Sandy. I look at it that I'm healthy, I feel good. I just happy to be here with my family, be able to see my kids and my grandchildren, and people were a lot worse off than I am. They lost their houses in Sandy, they went off the foundations, mine could be rebuilt.
You were able to rebuild.
I was able to
Beautiful
rebuild,
new home.
I had family I could stay with that supported me, and
How long did it take you to finally be back in your home? You just came back
a
recently.
year.
Took you a year.
And my electric still isn't completely done,
Okay.
but I can live here, and I'm happy to be here.
Okay. All right.
Do you feel old?
No. And you're only as old as you feel. And I
That's
don't
exactly
feel
what
old.
he said.
So what has been your keys, you think, to living
So long, I eat pretty healthy. I, again, am holistic.
Never.
I don't drink. I never smoked. I danced. And the doctors all said that that's half of the reason I healed so fast. Because of the fact my body was always active and in shape.
Right.
What age would you want to be if you could go back in time to any age throughout your life?
Favorite age of your whole life?
Yeah.
My whole life, that's difficult. Because between the ages of 15 and a half and 21 was a great time for
Party
me.
time.
That was a really great time for me. And then at 21 I met Tom, and that was where I'm going to go back to, having him back.
Right.
So what were your goals growing up, and how do you believe that you lived up to those goals?
My goals growing up was I wanted to be a dancer. I did become a dancer. I danced in the best supper clubs in the country. I did the best TV shows that were on. I did Sullivan, Gleason, I did them all as a dancer and as a solo dancer or with the fellow I had teamed up with. I signed a movie contract with MGM. I was going to go to California. That's the one thing I would like to have seen how it panned out, but it was either that or Tom, and I would take him anytime, anywhere, over anything. And that was the choice I made, to marry him and give it up.
Are you satisfied with the path you have paved in your life? And what do you want people to remember about you?
I'm happy with the path I paved, yes. I hope they remember me as helping anyone I could, being honest, and giving of myself whenever I could. I never believed in being nasty. I always believed in helping people if I could help them, whether it was financially, emotionally, whatever. And to this day, I still do that.
What person had the most positive influence on your life, and what did he or she do to influence you?
My dad and my mom both. They raised me to believe in myself, to believe I could accomplish anything I wanted to accomplish, to be honest, and to enjoy life.
Do you remember someone saying something to you that had a big impact on how you lived your life, and who said it, and what did that person say?
Maybe something like the vinegar comment you made before.
Or like that your dad used
That
to
would-
always say to you, like, or that would,
My mother used to say that to me. That's where I got the honey and the vinegar from.
yeah.
She used to say to me, just always remember, you can get more with honey than you can with vinegar. And through my life, I have found that that's why I don't believe in being mean to people or that, because people are nice if you're nice to them. You get what you give.
Are you religious, and have you become more spiritual as you've gotten older?
Am I religious? I'm not fanatically religious. Do I go to church? Yes. Do I believe in my religion? I'm Protestant. Do I believe in it? Yes. Do I believe in God? With every ounce of my soul. Do I believe in a hereafter? Yes, I do.
So have you noticed that you've gotten more spiritual as you've gotten older?
Yes and no. I taught Sunday school when I was young, so when I was young I was pretty religious.
Right.
And then I got away from it a little bit, and yeah, I've gone back into it. I had a minister who was it was a female, and at first I was upset because it was female. She was the most magnificent, one of the most influential people in my life, whereas with her guidance, I lost my husband, my mom, my dad, and my brother all in 2 years. And her and my family got me through it. But she was just, and my grandkids loved her.
Are you afraid to pass on? That's a tough question, but...
Yeah. Am I? I don't know. I think I am, because when I thought I might die, I didn't want to. But then my oldest son said to me, Mom, if you go to sleep and you don't wake up, you'll never know.
He's such...
That's what he said. He said, if you wake up, you wake up, but if you don't, you'll never know, so you'll...
You should be scared of it, right?
So why be scared of it?
Yeah. That's so funny. That's a lighthearted way to look at it.
That's your father.
So is there anything, just in closing statement, is there anything that you would want, like advice that you would give to people our age that you learned over your life? Just kind of like a closing.
I tell my grandkids the same thing. Be honest, be truthful, be true to yourself, and be true to other people. Don't be a phony, don't lie. Be who you are.
Would you recommend adapting to change the way that you have? I mean, you went from one extreme to the next, and obviously I'm sure throughout our lifetime things are going to change that drastically, but in so many different ways. Was it hard for you to, or did you just embrace it? Did you just get excited over the iPhone and you wanted the 3D TV and it's just exciting?
Yes.
So embrace it with excitement.
I love change. Yeah. I love seeing things advance.
So embrace everything and enjoy it.
Embrace it and enjoy it. Right. And enjoy each other when you end up getting married. That's one of the main things. Enjoy each other.
Right.
Well, thanks for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the the interview and talking about different things in your life. So, thank you.